to my computer.
Okay. We are recording now.
Awesome. Okay, I'm really excited for tonight. I'm going to go ahead and get right started so that we are respectful of you guys' time. My name is Tara Castaneda. I have been with Plexus for 5.5 years. I am a Diamond Senior Ruby, which I'm sure you're like, what does that even mean? It's different ranks that we have in Plexus, and Diamond is the very top rank that you can have. My husband is also Diamond, and then Senior Ruby is right in the middle of those ranks to go again. And so the way this is all structured in Plexus is really quite beneficial for us, for y'all, because we get the opportunity to go to the top multiple times, which is really generous in my opinion. So I wanted to kick us off by just sharing a little bit about who I am, how I relate to all of you guys, and my story with Plexus. So when I got started 5.5 years ago, I was looking for some weight loss, and I had just had my first baby. And so I was just ready to not be pudgy mama anymore. And my mom posted about Plexus on Facebook. And this was before filters were a big thing. So whatever she posted, I knew was like a legitimate picture of her, and she looked amazing. So I reached out to her and I said, what are you doing? You look amazing. If it's going to work for you, I know it could work for me. And she hesitantly told me Plexus, and she hesitantly told me it because she knew her daughter. I am a skeptic by nature. I have a master's in business, so I'm really careful about what business you get sucked into. I want to make sure it's on the up and up, right? And I'm pretty particular about what products I put in my body, what I put in my kids' bodies, all that jazz. So she was like, Plexus, because she knew I was going to look for something wrong with it. So I did just that. My mama knows me well, and I was like, I'm searching, I'm looking, I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with Plexus. And everything that I was looking into, whether it was the products or the company or the business model or the comp plan or the exec team, I was just getting a whole bunch of check marks, and I was like, all right, my mama did good, right? Like, okay, way to go, mama. So I said, fine, I'm gonna join. And she actually directed me to who she was buying from. She was a customer at the time, and she regrets that from like day one that I didn't join under her. But she directed me to her friend. And I said, look, I'm just going to order, but I'm never going to do the business side. I don't have time. I've got a new baby. I've got an MBA. I plan to go back to work. I'm going to be a CEO one day. That was just like my vision. Well, I started taking Plexus. 3 days into it, I started opening my mouth because I felt way better. I started telling people. I started blogging my journey on Facebook, keeping it really simple. Hey, who out there has ever heard of Plexus? This is what I'm finding. And in my first month, I made over $1,000. And back then, we used to receive physical checks in the mail. And now it's all done electronically. And I remember opening that check, and I told my husband, I said, David, I think I've done something illegal. I have no idea how I made this $1,000. And he was like, babe, go cash it. And so we did, right? But I looked at the comp plan and I was like, okay, this is legit, right? Okay, I get it. It makes sense. And so I thought, okay, what if I actually tried with this? So I got serious. I started reading about network marketing. I started teaching myself about this because I really didn't have an upline at the time that was very active. And so I got interested, right? I got serious about it. And by my third or fourth month, I was making around $3,000 or $4,000 a month. And I thought, whoa, okay, this not only is like really helping us when we were dead broke when I started, like dead broke, like egg salad sandwiches at night every night, because that's all we could afford. We were broke. By my third or fourth month, I thought, oh my gosh, this could actually replace my income of going back to work. And so I kept being intentional and teaching myself how to keep this simple and fun and engage my team. And by my 12th month, I was making $10,000 a month. I had gotten a Lexus. I got trips to Hawaii. By my 24th month, so 2 years, we started building David's account because I was well on my way to Sapphire rank, which is the second from the top. But by 2 years, my husband and I both went diamond, and the average income for one diamond ambassador is around $30,000 a month. And I mean, I just remember thinking, this is insane. This is absolutely insane. And once you get so far past diamond, you actually can what's called re-enter underneath yourself. So for those of you that are on this call that are on my re-entry team, you're part of that team. And those of you that are not on my re-entry team, you're part of my main team. So everybody on this call is part of my team. That's why I'm someone that you might recognize as the name because of our team pages. So you're all on my team. So thank you so much. But once you get so far past Diamond, you actually can re-enter underneath yourself, which means I signed myself up as my own level 1. So many of you have signed people up as ambassadors. I went on and signed myself up. So there's Tara Castaneda and Tara Castaneda. Again, kind of confusing, but you can build another business that way. And I'm Senior Ruby, working towards Emerald on that team, which Emerald is where you're making $10,000 a month and all that jazz. So fast forward, it's been a whirlwind of success, not because I'm anything great, but because the products really work, the comp plan really works, and we on this team, and the other women that you're going to hear from tonight, we pride ourselves in making this simple, teaching you how to do it, and if you just listen to us and let us coach you and trust us, we can take you to where we are as well. Can I get a thumbs up for everybody? Right? Okay. All right. So that's who I am. That's my testimony. So how do you begin? Where do we start with all of this? How do you start sharing? Well, obviously it's word of mouth, but a lot of times people are a little hesitant to purchase right away, or sometimes you may have felt that before. I'm going to say that if you find that along the way, which it's normal if you do, samples work really well. So this call is going to teach you some little tidbits. So if you've got something to write on, I would write these little tips down, but samples work really well. So what I do is 3 sticks of Slim, okay, and then MetaBurn with it. So if you don't buy the 3-day trial of Slim and MetaBurn, I might grab 5 capsules out of my MetaBurn. So 5 capsules, and then a baggie of lean, 2 scoops of lean. So 1 serving of lean, 5 MetaBurn capsules, and 3 sticks of Slim. I give these out as samples, and that's a 3-day trial of some of our best products. Those products are quick result products. People are going to feel a difference on them. They're going to go, oh man, I trust these products. Most of you, if not all of you, are on those products. So we know, right, that those work. And they help people go, wow, okay, so Tara kind of knows what she's talking about. This stuff is legit. I like it. I'm ready to keep going. So samples really help break down that barrier of hesitancy if you find it. Cool. Along with those 3-day trials, we have every month a 3-day event. So guys, like wipe the nervousness off your shoulders, because all you have to do is find people interested and hand out samples, because we're going to help do the heavy lifting for you. Every month we have 3-day events. And this month is on May 20th. So write that down, circle it down. May 20th, we have a 3-day event. And it's so dang simple. All you do is you hand out your sample and you plug them into this private, closed Facebook group. So none of their friends can see that they're part of it, right? That assures people. And every day for those 3 days, there's 2 posts. There's a morning post and an afternoon post that teaches them what these products are, what to expect, how gut health plays a role in this, how we can help them with a sale, and then maybe talking about our incredible $199 packs at the end. So those trials, those 3-day trial events, if you can get several people involved in those, or if you can get your team doing that, I promise you, you will grow a business underneath it. It works. People tend to join after this 3-day events. Most people join after day 1 or 2. They're sold. They're sold. So they work really well. I want to briefly talk about, before I hand it over to Amy, I want to briefly talk about $199 packs. Okay, so $199 packs, some of you joined with those. Some of you joined with 99 packs. The $199 packs are probably my favorite, simply because they are most beneficial as far as a savings goes for your ambassadors. They get the best bang for their dollar. They're literally getting like 3 products for free on that, or 2 products for free. You're going to have people that find better success with it because they can figure out what products work with their body and etc. And then two, it really is from a business standpoint, from our standpoint, it really is a win-win-win-win-win all the way around for someone to join your team with a $199. Why is that? You get paid more on them and you get paid multiple ways. So you not only get your weekly bonus from signing somebody up with it, but you also get paid commissions on it. And I'm going to kind of dumb this down for a lack of better words, simply because I don't want to overwhelm or confuse anybody who's new here. But when you get paid on 199 packs, you get paid, like I said, that bonus and the commissions. Those 199s count towards any promotions beyond silver, which is a big deal when you're building a business. Okay, so just trust me on that. Are we good? Trust me on that so far, right? So what we want to do is invite people in with those 199 packs because it's better results for them. It's a better deal for them. You have greater retention with them. What is retention? What our goal here in this business is to bring someone in, right? Try Plexus, but we want them to order the next month, right? Shake your head if you want them to order the next month. Of course you do, right? That's where the residual income comes from. And we all know that we didn't get unhealthy overnight. Plexus isn't a magic pill. It needs to be taken longer than 30 days. I truly feel if someone orders just once and then quits, they literally quit before they even began. That's my opinion on it. So we want them to keep going. 199 packs have better retention. Now, I say all of that, but I don't want you to feel like 99 packs are bad because they're not. They are wonderful. But if you had to choose between the two, I always lead with 199 packs. And on each of our team pages, you will find a post that says how to share 199 packs. It gives you verbiage. It gives you message scripts. So I don't want you to feel nervous on how to explain it or anything. All of that is searchable in our team pages. Cool? Okay, I'm going to toss it over to Amy. She's going to share some really great sharing tips for Facebook and social media for us.
Hi, I am Amy Grimmett, and I am a Sapphire Ambassador with Plexus. I joined Tara's team about 3 years ago, and guys, I pretty much re-met her on Facebook. We had met in college many moons ago, and I just all of a sudden saw her pop up on my news feed, and she had recently gone emerald. And I remember just following her journey, and finally I was just intrigued. I was a new mom. My son, Kason, was 7 months old, and I was a kindergarten teacher at the time. And I was just boo-hooing in my classroom every day. I did not want to be there. I loved teaching, and I loved giving back, but I wanted to be a stay-at-home mama, and I wanted to be with him every day. So when I saw this gorgeous girl go emerald, I was very intrigued, and not even really remembering how we knew each other, I finally just messaged her, and I was just like, girl, what are you doing? What is Plexus? What is this Plexus Lexus? She had been talking about gut health. She had been talking about how she was feeling great. I had a little bit of weight to lose, so I was just all around interested. And she and I ended up on the phone for about an hour that night, and honest to God, I still didn't know how we knew each other at that point, but I ended up joining, and I joined her team page. And it just took me a couple days on that team page to catch the vision. And the morale of the team page and the excitement and how much fun it was just kind of sucked me in. So guys, be a part of that community when you are added to those team pages. We are one Plexus. So really just dive in on that because we have such an amazing culture, which is why I think so many people are successful in this business. So long story short, I reached out to her again. I was like, okay, so what do? I want to do this, So about a month in, I hit the rank of gold, and I just had intentions of covering the cost of my son's daycare. At that time, it was a new bill for us, and I just wanted to make enough to feel like we were above water in that aspect. And again, it wasn't too long before the paychecks started rolling in, and I was like, no, like, I'm gonna go all in. Like, I love this. I love the culture. I love the friendships, and I just hit the ground running. And about a year into Plexus, I hit the rank of Emerald, and I was able to resign and stay home with my son. And I now have a daughter who is 9 months old, and I have been able to stay home with both of them for the last 3 years. So guys, if your why is big enough, this is the real deal, and it can really take you there. So because me and Tara met on Facebook, and because Facebook is kind of like your free storefront, use that, guys. So here's a couple tips that I have found along the way, because algorithms change, different MLMs have popped up in and out, and different things that have set us aside from other MLMs are, for instance, no graphics. If you go on Pinterest, or you may see an old graphic from 5 years ago pop up, don't use it. You want to present yourself as personable, and those graphics just don't look pretty, first of all, and you look like you're just a salesperson, and people are just going to scroll on past. So stay away from graphics. What you can do instead is share personal pictures of your family, maybe some products sitting on your own personal counter. Download easy apps like WordSwag if you want to write something on the photo, but be true to you and try to stay away from that. If you're going to share other testimonies, that's a really awesome thing to do, to kind of share other things that may relate to someone else that isn't necessarily your testimony, but don't use the share button when you do that. Make sure you just save the picture as your own, copy and paste the words, and just reshare it as if it's your own post. In the algorithm with Facebook, when you click that share button, it kind of puts your stuff down at the bottom of the barrel, so you don't want to use that share button anyway. When you are posting, pay attention to when you post. Think about when you're on Facebook. Traffic is really heavy in the morning, when people are on their lunch breaks. And then I personally think around 8 o'clock, when kids are, in bed and dinner's over, you're sitting on the sofa and you're surfing. So just be really aware of the times that you post. If you do see a post that a team member or a friend has posted, we are all one Plexus, so steal away, guys, but just be really cognizant of when you do share that post. So for instance, me and Amanda, we went to middle school together. So I wouldn't go post a post that she just did, 2 hours prior, because I'm going to make it look disingenuine. People who have the same friends are going to just say, oh, they just posted the same thing. That looks silly. So pay attention to who your friends are. And, there's a 3 dots in the top right of every post, and you can just save it for later, so that when you're looking for something to post, you're not trying to, sit there and think about what to post. Again, we're one Plexus, so show love on other people's posts, and they'll show love back. And be consistent. One thing that I have found is when I talk to someone about Plexus, that they may know someone else who does it, people kind of go and look at your page. So if they see that you may post about Plexus once or twice a month, but then another person posts about it several times a week, they're going to see that that person is more all in than you, and they're going to feel like that person may take better care of them. So make sure you're really consistent in that. And I think that is all I've got on Facebook. I am going to pass it back to Tara to talk about three-way chats.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amy. I love that last thing that you just said. Your consistency speaks volumes. So does your inconsistency when you share Plexus, right? It's going to send a message. What message do you want to send? Your people want to make sure that you're committed to them with Plexus. So consistency builds their trust in you. So I love that. Okay, so three-way chats. What is that? Why is that important? Have you ever heard of third-party validation? It's kind of like jumping on the bandwagon, but it builds that confidence in someone going, oh, it's not just her that likes it, but it's, her and them. And it's like, okay, wait a minute. It builds validity to whatever it is that you're talking about. So three-way chats are a really useful tool to use. Now, some of you, I'm looking at some of you, and you've just like started out of the gate and y'all just are recruiting everyone and their dog, and clearly you just have run, okay? That's wonderful for you, but for most people, three-way chats are an incredible resource. So what is it? Let's say that you find that someone is interested in Plexus and you're thinking, oh my gosh, what do I say? What do I recommend? And all these questions are boiling in your head and you're not sure, right? Or maybe you are sure, but you just need that extra oomph, that extra boost of confidence for them to say yes. A three-way chat, you can either do it on a text message thread, right? Put them together on a text message thread, or in Facebook, start a group message and just say something like this. Hey, Susie Q, I know you were interested in Plexus. This is my friend Tara. I've known her for blah, blah, blah. She's been with Plexus for 5.5 years. Since I'm still new at this, I want to make sure that I take care of you best and get your questions answered. So she's going to help us to make sure you're taken care of best. Simple, easy, done. And you've already started that three-way chat, right? Now, when you do that with me or with Amy or with Jenny, any of these three hosts on the call, we know what to do, right? And basically, we're just going to say, hey, I'm so excited. What are your health goals? And we start from there. And then you get to watch this being done without you having to do anything. So it's really simple for you. You get the long end of the stick, right? So you get to learn as you earn, we like to say. You get to see how we have these conversations, how we respond to questions, how we get people to go, okay, I'm ready to order right now. And it becomes habitual for you. Once you see it once or twice or three times, you're like, I got it, right? So three-way chats are a really great tool, especially if you have someone that's a little bit more difficult to close that deal, or if you're like, I don't even know where to begin. Lean on us. We're a team. We are here for you. I mentioned earlier that we have verbiage on our team pages. If you search, I think, how to share 199s or hashtag verbiage, I think is one on one of my posts, you can literally look and see, okay, the weight loss essentials pack, how do I explain that? There's a picture of it. There's a description. You can copy and paste. And then what I like to do is save them in my notes. So I create notes. I create a note, how to enroll. So that way I can just copy, paste, send. I create a note on how to explain what Plexus is, copy, paste, send. I have a note on what our different welcome packs are, copy, paste, send. Super, super simple. That's the key to everything. It is simple. So use our team pages. And then hopefully by that three-way chat has happened, right? You're posting on social media, you're attracting people to it. We're talking about the 199 packs. We're talking about the three-way chats. Now what? Someone's joined. What do I do now? Well, the work is not over, okay? We want to make sure that they're taken care of, right? We don't want someone to feel like a number when you bring them in and then go, okay, see ya, and move on to the next. That's not what we're about. We want to make sure they're taken care of. So you circle back a few days after they join. I like to do it about 4 or 5 days and say, hey, have you received your Plexus products yet, right? And if they say yes or no, they usually come between 3 and 5 days. I let them know to let me know when they receive them. And I send them a graphic on, I think it's called Getting Started Guide, or How to Take, where it shows what they do for their products. Now, on our team pages, if you search hashtag how to take, you search that, this post will pop up and every single one of those graphics is there. And you can save those to your phone and send them the graphic that correlates with whatever pack that they bought. Does that make sense so far? Right? So you're setting them up with the tools on how to take it. you're circling back. And then their first 30 to 60 days, I'm checking in every week, right? Follow-up Fridays is a great one, or touch base Tuesdays, right? So you just got something mentally in your head going, okay, I need to touch base with these friends, right? How are you doing? How are you liking Plexus? One tip I have for you is to allow the door to truly be open for them to talk with you. What do I mean by that? Maybe not everything they have to say is 100% roses, and they're nervous to say that to you. Maybe they're experiencing something that, I don't know, maybe they're pooping too much, right? That's a little awkward to talk about sometimes, right? And so they're a little nervous to share that with you, but make sure you open that door to allow them to communicate with you. Something I like to say is, hey, let me know any feelings that you're feeling, good or bad, any questions, any hesitations. The smallest tweak to your program or to your regimen can make all the difference, right? So allow that door to be swung both ways. And then if they do have an issue, okay, every physical body is different. Maybe they're like, yeah, I'm feeling this. And you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. Again, reach out to your sponsor, reach out to one of us. We've got you. It's simple, but let us help you work through that as you get started. Okay, I'm going to toss it over to Jenny now. She is amazing. Can I give you like a little intro real quick? She got started a few months ago and got started with her business a few months ago. And she's like running up the ranks, like super quick, super fast, building a really kick-tail team. So I'm so thrilled and so proud of her. So I can't wait for you to hear a little bit about what she has to say in her story.
Thank you so much for the intro. I'm humbled. You are too kind. But really, it all is happening just brilliantly. I just love it. It is fun. I love how Amy mentioned how fun it was, because that is perfect. Okay, guys, so y'all heard from Tara and you heard from Amy and you heard about their incredible testimonies. The thing they both have in common is that they immediately started sharing with their friends and family. And tonight I want to talk to you guys about a mistake that I made, because I didn't do that. I waited. And let me tell you why I feel like that was probably my biggest mistake so far. I'm sure I'll make mistakes along the way, but right now that's my biggest regret, is that I didn't start sharing it as soon as I started taking it and started noticing some improvements. The first thing that I want to tell you is that decision, it prevented my family and I from the financial blessing that we didn't know God had for us. You see, God had already opened the door because I was already there. I was already taking the products. It was already in my lap. But I was using my judgment and delayed this incredible blessing, the financial blessing for our family. I can't even imagine, guys, where I would be right now as far as the blessing goes, the financial blessing with Plexus, if I had started where you are right now. You're sitting at an amazing opportunity. The second decision the second reason that I feel like that decision, it delayed health blessings for my family and my friends. I was waiting for my testimony, and I was waiting for my personal experience. And I waited to start sharing the products with people and what I was doing. And I can't tell you how many times that I have heard from the people who are experiencing really incredible things right now, because I'm just right in the mix of it. The things that they're saying is things like, gosh, I wish I had started this sooner. Or you'll know I'm talking about my sister on this one. She's probably like, stop talking about me. But she has said, I wish I'd had these products earlier in my pregnancy, because she had an incredible pregnancy, but it didn't start until closer to the second trimester. And, they're saying that. And while they're saying that because they're excited about the progress that they did have, but I can't help but hear, I was their delay in that opportunity for them to start earlier. So guys, if I can tell you anything, have confidence in the products because we know they work. Simple. And have confidence in yourself because you made a great decision. And just remember that you're not trying to sell someone something. You're not trying to sell them overpriced plasticware or makeup they're really not going to use next week, and sit under their sink and be full of regret. You're not, that's not what this is about. You're offering your families and friends a true opportunity to equip themselves with tools that can improve their overall health and well-being. And I mean, that's just going to make them feel their best. So, I mean, that in itself, that is a blessing. That is not a burden. So have some confidence in yourself when you're sharing these products, because you are making an incredible decision. So I'm going to pass it back to Tara now.
So that's awesome, Jenny. I love what you say of like, don't wait for you to have this like perfect, elaborate testimony to share what these products have. So Jenny, for those that are on this call that maybe are still working towards their big testimony, or maybe they just started, I bet a question that they might have is, okay, well, how do I share without my personal testimony? What advice would you have for them to get started right away sharing?
Great question. Okay, so here's what I found, and this is what I feel works really well. And this is kind of what I've encouraged my new ambassadors and what I have seen working well for them. So I'm going to give you 4 quick scenarios, and I wrote them out so that way if I'm looking over it, that's what I'm doing, is I want to make sure I'm saying it properly to you. So first of all, just talk to the people that you already know, like people that already love you and trust your decision-making skills, your real close inner circle, people that you would call up and tell about that amazing shoe sale down the street. Talk to those people. Something like, hey girl, I just started on these supplements because, you know, I've been driving that struggle bus for way too long. Let's do this thing together. I know you would love it too. And we can hold each other accountable, because we know accountability, you know, you're going to go twice as far if you've got somebody doing it with you. So that's the first scenario. The second scenario is, you know, calling up that friend or family member that's suffering with things that are maybe similar or close to what you're dealing with, and the reason that you decided to start Plexus. Something like, hey, Aunt Pam, I know we both have diabetes, and, you know, I've been trying for a really long time right now to try to lose this extra weight and get my health under control. I want to tell you, I'm really excited about these new supplements that I've started taking, and I feel that they're going to help you too. I'm going to send you over a couple of videos that explain the stuff that I just started. And then I'm going to follow back up with you and see what you think. And then I would send the videos and then follow back up and say something like, hey, you know, what did you think about those videos? Like, have you ever thought about gut health and why it's so important? I mean, a lot of people don't put that together right now. It's really becoming popular, but it's not quite saturated. You know, and then something like, so Aunt Pam, you know, would you be willing to try this with me? You know, let's see how this goes together. So that's a more of a warm market also. Now here's more of a colder market. Is the third scenario is always be looking and listening around you. Just, you know, have that plexus ear out. You know, be thinking when people are talking. When you hear someone say something like, I am so tired and I've got to have that coffee. Girl, 3 p.m. crash, here I come. They are calling your name. Or something like, girl, I've got to go back to the doctor. I still can't feel good. My skin is terrible. I don't know what else to do. I'm constantly missing work, and the doctors don't have a lot of answers. There's your clue. Or kind of like what Amy was talking about, that mom that's in her classroom or in the cubicle next to you, and she's bawling her eyes out on her break because she just wants to be home with her baby. There's your clue. Guys, we have tools for them, and you can help them. All you have to do is simply say, hey, I think I might have something that could help you. And they're going to be like, tell me what it is. So right there, you've got someone interested in what you're doing. The fourth is more of like a random kind of thing, where you just really don't even know how to present or talk to someone or initiate that conversation. You can very quickly just say, hey, I've started on these supplements. It's a company called Plexus. Have you ever heard of them? I'm just kind of putting some fillers out there and seeing what other people have experienced with this. It can be something just that simple. So those are the 4 simple scenarios that I have. I don't mind typing it out and putting it in our on our page, or I'll send it to Tara and she can get it to the to one of our files if you want some extra verbiage to put out there. But it's just 4 super simple ways to really just be keeping your ears out, because people are always talking, they're always complaining about something, and we have a very simple solution or tool to help them find their solution.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Jenny. Thanks for all of you guys for taking your time out of your busy evenings just to kind of hear what this is about. I want to leave you guys with something. Just remember, this is simple. You don't have to overcomplicate this. You just have to start talking and be intentional in those conversations. Use your uplines, use your sponsors, use the resources we have, and set goals, right? So our first goal is silver, which is 3 level 1s. And then there's super silver, which is 10 people on your team. I know Sarah Wilburn on the call, she's like, what, 1 or 2 away? And she started a month ago, 2 away. We're going to do it, right? And then 20 is gold. I mean, at gold, you're making $1,000, you guys. So that's a big dang deal, okay? I have to say it because the deadline is tomorrow. If you are at all interested in convention or in making something with Plexus, I encourage you to get your tickets to convention in June. They stop sales on them tomorrow. But that's, I mean, honestly, when I went to convention, that is where everything changed for me. That's where I saw the vision and I was like, y'all, I am all in. And I can say over the past 5.5 years, I've made millions with Plexus, millions. And it all started at a convention. So if you are interested, please check that out. If you're like, what, tell me more, contact your sponsor. But y'all, keep this simple, have fun, be a part of the team, be a part of those pages that you're on, comment, like, because your excitement could really change someone else's life on our team, and they could catch the vision because of you. So again, thank you guys so much for your time. Thank you, Amy and Jenny, for inviting me to help with this, and for being awesome people. I love y'all. Hope you have a great evening.